Hello there. Excuse me. Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're not. Welcome back to Retro Rewind, where we take things from the 90s and the early 2000s. Talk things, not things from the 90s. That I speak English, I swear. Where we talk about things from the 90s and early 2000s. And today we're on Friends, Season 9, Episode 8. The one with Rachel's other sister. I swear I can speak English. And this one is okay. Clearly the first three were the best ones. Even the one where Ross got high. Maybe the first four were the more remembered ones. These later ones are just kind of... I know everyone remembers one with Brad Pitt, but it really wouldn't do anything for me. This one... So, where we are in the story, Rachel has had a baby named Emma. She and Ross are raising it somewhat together. And we begin with a knock on the door from Rachel's sister. Now, previously in an earlier season, Rachel's sister played a different sister, Jude. I'm trying to think. Well, Jill, I think. Reese Witherspoon played Rachel's sister Jill. And so when they ask here, they're like, Jill? No, Amy. It played by Christina Applegate. Now the story here, from what I remember, if I'm correct here, is that they wanted it to be Jill. They wanted Jill to come back. They wanted Reese Witherspoon to come back, but she wasn't able to, so they wrote an entirely new character for this. Which, it is an entirely different character. She's a little more self-centered, which, to be honest, Christina Applegate is good at. She doesn't even know I don't think the way this character was portrayed would have worked for Jill, to be honest, because she was always the nicer one. Didn't she have a thing for Ross at one point? Or was it Joey tried to date her? I don't know, one of the two. But, yeah, and runs with her is that she's insensitive and self-centered, and yeah, and she does a thing with... She looks at Ross and says, oh, he's cuter than that one guy I used to go out with. He's like, that was me. She says, well, no. There was this guy that used to follow her around in high school. And that was me. No. He used to... I'm going to save you this. It was me. And then later she does the same thing with Monica. Like, she's like, oh, you really need to stop doing that. And really, Thanksgiving is sort of a background in this episode. It's just because it's on Thanksgiving. So, Amy's planning to go on this Thanksgiving with a boyfriend of hers, who we find out is married. And then it gets canceled because the guy's going to be with his wife. So, she gets invited to the Thanksgiving with the Monica and Chandler's house, apartment. And, yeah. Somehow during this, the topic gets brought up. Oh, because Amy brings it up. She comes out about it. She goes, you know what I was thinking would be really good? If you guys died. And they just kind of look at each other. Well, because if you die, then I can take care of Emma. And that's where they're like, well, if we die, then Monica and Chandler would take care of Emma. And they're like, oh, that's real nice. And then she's like, Amy's like, well, if Monica dies, like, because that's where we get the thing where, wait, I'm your sister, you're going to trust two strangers? And then she's like, no, Monica is Ross's sister, and that's where he gets it. No, no, no. His sister was really fat. That's her. But then she's like, well, what if you guys died and then she died? I would get the baby. And Chandler goes, no, because if they died and Monica died, I would still get the baby. You know what I mean? And they're just kind of like looking. He's like, right? And Ross is like, well, if Monica died and we died, I was hoping that my parents would take care of her. And you know what I was thinking in this moment is like, this baby is just laying there taking a nap, not knowing these people are talking about they're gonna die and who's gonna take care of her. You know, some of the conversations we have around our kids when they're too young to understand what's going on, it's just like if they understood what was going on, it'd be kind of weird. You know, the conversations we'd have, you know, but yeah, they don't understand it. It's just fine when they're that young. So, but yeah. So, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. So this starts to get to Chandler because like, well, you don't trust me, you know. And then like Monica talks to him. It's like, well, you know, you're not really the best with kids. You think you could do it on your own? And she's like, well, I don't know. You know, he's like, well, I don't get the kid. I was somehow able to survive whatever thing killed you guys. Which is a good point. But then it ends up with Rachel and Amy having an argument and a sort of a fight. By the way, there's also a sort of a subplot. There's another one where they don't really leave the apartment. There's a subplot where Chandler wants them to use their fancy china from the wedding. And, you know, he convinces Monica to do it, and Monica doesn't want to do it because she doesn't want anything to get broken. And knowing this, one of the plates gets broken. And that's when Chandler has enough and just sort of tears into him like they are kids, by the way. Like, you apologize to him, you apologize to her, whatever. And he's like, you know what? Oh, they were saying earlier, it was a joke, where it's like, you know what? If I don't get Emma, when I die, you don't get Joey. So then here, Ross is like, you know what? If we die, and Monica dies, you can have Emma. He's like, thanks, man. She's like, does that mean we get Joey? And he's like, okay, but he eats 5 times a day and sticks nickels up his nose. A nickel? Nickels aren't that small. Dimes, maybe. That fit up there. I don't know. Depending on how big your nose is, I guess. It's a joke. You know. And everything is hunky-dory and fine. And Amy gets to use her discount at the Ralph Lauren, because that's where she was working at this point. Yeah. And that's how it ends. There's not really much to talk about with this one. I feel like these last ones aren't... I don't think they were trying as hard as they did in the early episodes. The first one, I feel like the third one is the best so far. Then you have the first one. Then the second one, right? And then I would put the guy. Yeah, and then this is probably the worst so far, because the rumor one has Brad Pitt at least. So we shall see what the last one is, because I don't know, but this didn't do it for me, this one. I don't know, it feels like they weren't really trying. It's like, we have to have Thanksgiving. And, you know, to their credit, there were a couple of seasons 2 and 4 and 7, where they didn't have Thanksgiving episodes. So maybe because they didn't have good ideas, but then these last 3 weren't exactly the best. Although I haven't seen the last one yet, but that's why I don't. Oh, excuse me. That's why I don't remember them as much, because, you know, they weren't the best, but this was fine. So, what are your thoughts on this episode of the McCops? Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.